Hello, you gorgeous creatures out there. Today's video is all about healing the feminine energy or healing wounded feminine energy. So often when you're a woman, you can have wounded feminine energy. This often happens early in our lives, and I've noticed that it can go one of two ways. Either you can have, a weak, wispy woman when you have wounded feminine energy from early childhood, or it can develop into really masculine qualities. And a lot of times these traits that we learned early on in our childhood, usually like the first 7 years of our lives, it can become part of our identity, and it's how we learn to survive. Especially if you had any trauma in the early years of your life, you can really sort of take on personality traits that aren't yours, and they tend to become your survival skills. So what happens is, many psychologists believe that we are operating from those first 7 years of our lives, or the early years of our childhood. So we just continue to play out these emotional dramas in our lives unless we look within and learn how to heal those spaces within us. Healing the feminine energy, when you're a woman, learning how to embrace that feminine side of you is really amazing and empowering, and the only way that you can become truly empowered as a woman. When I was younger, I definitely was very much a girly girl, but also at the same time, I was a tomboy. I was always very dominant, especially when I became a teenager. I think I scared people. I was definitely, like smoking cigarettes in high school, wearing leather jackets, listening to death metal, and not really balanced in my feminine energy. I learned that when I was a young kid, I had to adopt these survival skills, and I had to learn how to protect myself. So in order to avoid being hurt, I decided to become my own protector, and this led me to become very dominant, very bossy, and those might be a little bit of just my Adrian personality traits anyways. Like, I'm an Aries. Aries are very bossy people. We are very much born for leadership roles, and this sometimes can come across as arrogance. But for me, I definitely had an overdeveloped sense of self-preservation. So this led to me being, at a lot of times, really closed off in my life. And what I realized was that when I really leaned into my grace and my soft side and my compassion and my nurturing, mothering aspects of femininity, when I connected with my womb cycle and the moon energies, I felt that my life just flowed more, and I really learned how to balance those sides of myself. So every person, no matter what your gender is, you have those two elements of divine masculine energy and divine feminine energy. We all have those within us, but it's our job to learn how to balance those energies so they coexist in harmony. Like the yin yang two fish, that's how our personality traits should be. When you're a woman, oftentimes women can be unbalanced in their masculine side. When you're a man, you can be unbalanced in your feminine side. So this usually happens when you have, like, for example, if you're a man and you grew up with sisters or, a very affectionate, loving mother, then you will be balanced in those feminine energies and you won't need to heal those wounds. You won't have wounds to heal. Or if you're a female like me, I had to learn how to become more feminine because I was always very, very dominant early in my life. And those are just survival skills that I picked up along the way that are not serving me anymore in my life. So I don't want to carry those with me any longer. When women are unbalanced in our feminine energy, you can become a toxic female. And I would advise you to learn how to heal and embrace and step into and lean into fully your feminine energies. Otherwise, this can create what we now see as modern day feminism, which actually isn't fighting for anything. It's just, we're seeing a lot of toxic femininity, a lot of toxic females in our society, in our culture right now. And this is caused by being very unbalanced in your feminine energy. It's overly dominant male energy, male energy is beautiful when it's healthy, but what they're doing is actually also toxic masculinity, ironically. So learning what the healthy traits of femininity are it's going to really expand your life on every single level. And some people consider it weak to be overly feminine, and I think it's just the opposite. I think that women have such a profound role in a healthy society, just as healthy men do. Women have been muses throughout the ages. They have inspired people, men and women, to create great works of art and literature and healing and the feminine aspects of mothering and nurturing. It's a gorgeous, beautiful presence. It's a divine creation energy. And the more you learn how to open up and embrace that loving, nurturing side, the more your life is going to flow for you in a positive way. Bye, Saki. He's out of here. So, embracing your femininity, right? Where do we start? Okay, let's say you are feeling out of place in your femininity. Maybe you just don't feel connected. Maybe you're more of a tomboy. Maybe you developed, like me, really overly intense, dominant personality traits. You had to learn how to survive, but those are no longer serving you, so we have to learn how to break free of those. A lot of times I see so many different personality traits of toxic femininity, and they can include, but are not limited to, and don't take these if they don't resonate with you, but I have seen unhealthy toxic femininity manifest in many different forms. It can include being promiscuous, manipulation, victim mentality, resentment, staying stuck, just that feeling of being out of alignment, being a people pleaser, having anxiety, depression, feeling unaligned with who you are, not trusting your intuition, not having female friends. That's a huge one. You need a strong support system of women. Women need to empower one another. The best way to do this is to learn how to be a good friend. And that's actually a question that I asked myself in my 20s. So, like 17 years ago. I was like, okay, well, I want to attract strong female friendships. How do I do that? And I already knew the basic rules of the law of attraction, that we attract what we are, not what we want. So I thought to myself, okay, well, I'm going to learn how to be a good friend first. I'm going to learn how to be a strong, supportive female friend, whatever that looks like for me. What I want and value out of a female friend, I'm a private person, so somebody I can confide in, somebody who's not going to be a gossiper, because I hate small talk. I don't care about drama. So I want somebody who is motivated in their career and their family and pursuing self-improvement and healing. Somebody who is open-minded and loves being creative and supportive. So I knew the qualities that I was looking for in a female friend, and then I got to work on creating those qualities within myself. I got to make sure that I was a good female friend first. It's the same thing I tell people when they want to attract a mate. Ladies, if you want to attract a healthy man, you have to first make sure that you are a good partner to him, because you attract what you are, not what you want. Once you are a balanced, feminine, divine entity, once you become whole and heal your wounded feminine energy, you can then begin to attract a healthy alpha male who's also balanced in his masculine energy. And then you create this beautiful relationship, the twin flame energy between the two of you. But you have to get to work on yourself first to attract what you want. Whatever you want in life, you can attract it. So we first have to know what that looks like. And a lot of us don't even know where to start. And I totally get that. So I'm a big fan of writing things down. I have journals upon journals all around my house. Like if I took you on a tour of my house, you would see journals and 30 notepads laid all over with like energy, healings and mantras and manifesting wishes and healings and whatnot. So I always go to work immediately just writing down what it is I want, because that gets the energy flowing for me, gets my creative mojo flowing. I start to become inspired by the power of word. The power of the written word also has a magical alchemical effect on the universe. When you write something down, it becomes like a sacred contract, and then the universe has to get to work to conspire to make that happen for you. So start writing down whatever it is you want. Like I had a 2-page list for my perfect man, front and back. And I spared no room on the page listing these qualities that I wanted to attract in a man. And I have to, of course, first always check my own stuff at the door and make sure that I'm worthy of receiving that kind of partner. Do I hold my own? Can I go toe to toe with that kind of partner? You know, will they be attracted to me? So I always start and look within first before I want to create anything. But the power of manifesting and the written word is absolutely crucial to designing the kind of life you want. It helps you kind of articulate and really refine and redefine exactly what you're looking for. So what does your ideal self look like? How do you envision your feminine energy? Is it, you know, are you starting with your physique? Are you starting with your internal healing like I did? I started with my emotions 20 years ago before. Now I'm finally working on the physical side of making the outside match the inner work that I've done for almost 20 years. But it doesn't matter what room you start cleaning in your house. It just matters that you start. Like the rest will take care of itself. You'll get there. But you just have to start. So a lot of us don't really know until we write it down and define it. So get a list together. Write down the qualities that you want to see in your life. What does your ideal self look like? What does your beautiful feminine energy entail? What kind of qualities would you love to see manifest in your life? Whatever it is, maybe it's just dressing more feminine, maybe it's being more attractive to men. And all of that starts with healing our feminine energy. We can't attract an ideal mate if we are wounded and carrying around these karmic burdens of the past. As a woman, stepping into your divine feminine energy is your birthright. A lot of people believe that we karmically reincarnate to heal our energy so that with every lifetime, we can come closer and closer and closer to divine source energy, whatever name you like to assign to that, whether it's Holy Spirit, Creator, you know, God, universal energy, collective unconscious, whatever that is for you. I'll let you fill in the blank there. For me, I prefer Holy Spirit. That's just really comforting for me. But they say that we reincarnate each lifetime to heal past karma. So there are a couple of really great books. I'm not going to get into it right now, but if you want to check out Sacred Contracts and Many Lives, Many Masters, that's a fantastic place to start. It talks about past life regression and how many different lifetimes we live and why we reincarnate. So real quick, if you want more exploration on that subject, I'll probably do more videos about that in the future. But start there. There are those who believe that we reincarnate to heal old life lessons that we need. So the philosophy is that before we reincarnate, as very wise souls that we are, infinite beings of the universe, we choose where we are born, we choose our parents, and we choose our body. We choose our body because it is the perfect ideal condition for us to be able to learn the lessons that we came here to learn. So with that said, whatever body you are in, doesn't it make sense to learn how to fully, completely love it to your maximum capacity because you chose it? So if you chose this, why not help yourself out by really leaning into and embracing exactly what you are? When we learn to love ourselves, our life just works. Before I learned how to love myself, nothing in my life worked, okay? I was always struggling with my weight. I have had an eating disorder of some sort since I can remember. I remember being 9 years old and being totally just screwed up in my head about my weight, like watching every single thing I put into my body. Every woman in my family is anorexic on some level. So I had a lot of work to do on all levels. And still something to this day that I'm still working on. But learning how to love yourself will change every single thing about you. It will change the way you treat yourself. And even now, like I think I'm fully for the first time in my life able to say that I love myself. And for once, without changing anything else, like my weight is just regulating on its own because I love my body, so it's working. I finally love my femininity and know who I am and feel confident and stand tall in the woman that I am. So my finances are coming in, like it's just working, and I didn't change a whole lot. I've always just worked myself to the bone. I've always had 2 or 3 jobs at a time. I've always just known how to like forge ahead no matter what the task was. I've always just headbutted everything. That might be just an Aries thing. You know, we're the mountain ram, so we tend to just just headbutt everything in our path. But I finally learned how to love myself, and now everything in my life is falling into place. I have created this fairy tale life for myself, and it's effortless now. And I attribute it all to leaning into my beautiful feminine energy. Whatever that looks like for you is going to be different, but I can tell you what it means to me. Feminine energy, we're related to the moon. It's very mothering, it's nurturing, it's loving, and it's compassionate. It's living in truth, it's living in creation energy. It's very intuitive, very graceful. I've been wearing a lot of pink lately. Like my hair, I have a little pink tint in my hair. It just feels very beautiful and very sexy, very desirous, like to be in this space. And I have to tell you, once you get into this energy, men will find you irresistible. There's nothing more attractive to a healthy, evolved alpha male than a gorgeous feminine woman. And I'm not talking about physical looks. I'm talking about it's an air of confidence that you have when you just know who you are and you are in command of it. Yes, it's playful, youthful, and very innocent, but at the same time, it's very erotic and very sexy. And there's something just so empowering about being able to step into that and own it. A few places you can start when you are beginning your journey of stepping into your feminine energy. Number one, set healthy boundaries with people. You'll notice that the healthier you become, not everybody is going to be along for the ride. Not everyone will support you. Not everyone will be happy for you. Guess what? They don't have to. Not everybody is going to have the same drive and the same vision that you have. Not everyone's going to have the same divine path that you have laid out before you. And that's fine because they don't have to walk it, but you do. Number two, surround yourself with healthy feminine energy. You need a strong support system. Whenever I hear a woman go, oh, I don't have girlfriends, I don't like women, I don't like girlfriends, like I know that they have damaged feminine energy. That's not a judgment, it just is a fact. If you don't have strong females or you're not able to keep healthy female friendships, then it probably means you're not a very good female friend. Again, not a judgment, just it's all something we're gonna learn how to heal eventually, because eventually everybody goes back to source, love, and light, and that is it. We all get there on our own timeline, but I'm only telling you what I've learned along my journey. So what has helped me, because I always used to be one of the guys too. I used to have a ton of guy friends too, but I realized that those were not authentic friendships, because most of the time they wanted to sleep with me. Like, even though I was a tomboy and, I never dated any of my guy friends, but it's not healthy when there is the possibility of them wanting to be with you. That's kind of a manipulation. And when we unlearn those patterns to gain attention and attract energy, we can learn how to use energy in a healthy way. And that's what Earth is. It's just school. We're just here how to learn how to work our energy and use our energy to our benefit. Number three, create and manifest your ideal life. Your body, your self-image, your dream car, your dream career, your dream house. What does it look like for you? You can also include qualities of friendships and mate that you want to have in there too. Whatever you think about, you become. So make sure that you are choosing your thoughts. And I know a lot of people have fought me on this and they're like, yeah, I can't help what I think, blah, blah, blah. Yes, you can. You absolutely can. It takes time. Neuroscience backs this. You can actually break old neural net bonds in your brain and recreate new bridges. So it takes time to unlearn unhealthy habits, but then you can replace those things with healthy, positive affirmations. Leading to number four, daily mirror work. If you have not read Louise Hay, You Can Heal Your Life, I strongly suggest, I implore you to please read that book. That was my very first beginning stepping stone on my healing journey. It is absolutely beautiful. Make sure you get the gift edition. You'll know because it has like a ton of beautiful pictures and imagery and artwork on there. It goes through in the back, there's like a glossary of all the possible ailments or dis-ease that we create with different emotional traumas. So be sure to check that out. This also includes daily mirror work. If you're not sure where to start, this is tough for a lot of people. Look in the mirror every day and say your name, Adrienne, I love you. Just as simple as that. And you'll notice right away a really strong reaction, whether it's, oh, this is gross and feels uncomfortable, or, hey, you know what? There's actually nothing unlovable about me. Like, why have I been giving myself such a hard time? Why don't I deserve to have a beautiful fairy tale life? I think I do. And people tell me often, I've had this said to me many times in my life, Adrienne, we don't live in a fairy tale world like you. Oh, you know, not everything in life is a fairy tale. And I'm like, how sad for you that you don't live in a fairy tale. They mean it as an insult, but I do live in a fairy tale. Well, why not? Why shouldn't I? I can create whatever kind of life I want, so can you. And I am proving it because I did create my own fairy tale life and I'm living in it right now. And anybody who knows me, if you're new to this channel, or if you don't know me personally, I have a story that will make you cry. Almost all of us do. We almost all have stories that will make you cry. The point is, how do we transmute that? And I learned at an early age, my young teens, late teens, how to become an alchemist and transmute those negative experiences in my life. Number 5, self-care. And no, self-care is not just laying around all day drinking Chardonnay and eating bonbons. Self-care is something that actually nurtures and uplifts and empowers your spirit. So learning how to become the highest essence of your soul's expression is the point of being alive, in my humble opinion. Self-care is very important because it teaches your body, mind, and spirit that you love yourself. Whatever self-care is for you, whether it's going for a long walk, doing something wonderful for your body, your physical body, reading a book that you've been meaning to get to, you know, lighting candles around your house, whatever it is, like having that cup of coffee or tea just for you, going out and appreciating something beautiful around you in life, appreciating beauty and taking it in. Everything that you do can become a form of self-care when you really have your mind focused on healing your wounded feminine energy or embracing your feminine energy. Number 6, embrace and enhance your romantic desire and pleasure side. Being a woman and learning how to really lean into your feminine energy can be very sensual and very sexy. Take time that it's just for you. Wear lingerie around the house. Paint your nails. Give yourself a pedicure. Light candles. Bring romance into every single thing that you do. Even something as simple as being present when you're just washing your hair. It's just for you. It's a moment that can be filled with sensuality. It doesn't necessarily mean sex, but it's bringing that heightened sense of awareness into your beautiful feminine energy. So whether it's, you know, applying your makeup in the morning, like before I leave the house, I will always put on earrings and lipstick before I do anything. And that's just what I enjoy doing. But if you're not a makeup girl, then you don't have to do that. It can be as simple as making yourself just a hot, beautiful cup of chamomile tea and curling up with a beautiful blanket, getting your favorite socks on, maybe wearing a silk, you know, little negligee, something that feels good to you. And it's not about looking a certain way, but it's about the textures that you are embracing in your life. Really make sure that you are creating an environment that is pleasing to you. So maybe you're just waking up in the morning and lighting a candle and putting it on your yoga mat before you work out. Whatever it is, make romance a part of your being. When you are out for a walk, notice the beauty around you. Focus on the trees, the shrubs, the birds, the butterflies. And once you start drawing your attention, remember, we become what we think about. So when you notice these repetitious things in your life, when you train your brain to focus on the beauty, beauty will start to become your everyday. Beauty will align with everything that you do. Everything that you are will become magnetically beautiful, and it's just this cycle. And eventually you don't even have to work for it anymore because you're reprogramming your psyche to attract beauty into your life. Your friendships will change, and it's not like you're gonna have to necessarily even cut them out of your life. It's just you're gonna vibrate higher and higher and higher. And so these high vibrational experiences are going to be attracted to you. And what was serving you before is just naturally gonna fall away. You won't even have to work for it. Trust me, I have had so many people move out of my life, so many friends that just the time had run its course and that was it. I didn't say anything about it. It just gradually drifted away over time. And that's fine. Nothing lasts forever. You're going to continually change. The only constant in life is change. And we're supposed to. We're here to grow. We're here to learn. And that's part for me of really diving into my beautiful, graceful, feminine energy. For me, I had to unlearn a lot of behavior that was handed down from my ancestors that wasn't even necessarily mine. So I don't know about you ladies, or gentlemen, if you're watching this page too, this can be true for all of us. How many of you have had limiting beliefs placed on you from your parents or your grandparents or your aunts and uncles or just elders, maybe a teacher, told you a limiting belief that wasn't even true? And I had to really learn how to examine so much of what I was taught as a young child. And I'm a seeker of truth. I have been since I was born. I have always just demanded to know the truth. I used to tell my parents all the time, don't treat me like a child, tell me the truth. Like I made them tell me about Santa Claus when I was 5. I was like, I just know that's not true. Just tell me. My mom was like, okay, fine. Just don't tell your younger siblings. I was like, okay, cool. I needed to know the truth. I've been that way my entire life. But I did the same thing when I started examining these limiting beliefs that were ingrained in me from childhood. And what I realized was, in my family, we always joke and we say shit rolls downhill. Like your grandparents, great grandparents, then before that, lineages back. We don't even know what kind of family trauma we've got down the line. And it's scientifically proven that we do inherit not only physical traits, not only medical traits, but we also inherit psychological traits from our ancestors. And this is true even like if your great grandparents your grandma got bit by a snake, that a micro fraction of that venom would still be in your DNA. But it's true for spirituality as well. So when you clear these things, you're not only healing for yourself, but you're clearing back generations, and you're also healing and paving the way for younger generations and your children. So really important to dive into this. Don't wait, start today. If you're looking for a place to start and you found me, I'm so glad. Healing your femininity will change your life. When you love yourself, everything else flows. Lastly, attracting the perfect mate. Now, I'm not saying you're going to attract the perfect man instantly when you heal your feminine energy, but beware, when you start embracing your beautiful feminine energy, men are going to be so attracted to you. It's just something about you they can tell, especially the more evolved alpha men. When I was younger and I was much more dominant, I would attract beta male energy, which is toxic masculinity. Healthy, evolved alpha males have morals. Their natural biological structure is to protect his woman, to protect his family, to be honorable, to have justice, and to fight for truth. Those are divine, masculine, beautiful qualities. A beta male is somebody who's actually much more feminine. A beta male is very unbalanced in his masculinity. And when you have a feminine man, that's when you get toxic masculinity. A man who's not willing to stand up for you, a man who's willing to cheat on you, a man who is willing to abuse you because he's not the sole protector of the relationship. When I was younger and more masculine, dominant, I attracted beta male energy. And there were terrible relationships. Not all of them. I had wonderful ones too, but the best relationships I ever had were with more alpha masculine men. And now that I'm super balanced and very much in the diving pool of my feminine energy, now I attract alpha males who have beautiful moral energy, who have wonderful drive, and who teach me things about myself, whether it's, my lover or a friend. I attract better quality relationships, male and female. I have tons of beautiful female friendships, and this all comes from when I got myself in alignment, when I cleared out all the garbage that was distracting me and that was not the truth about who I am. Everything else just balanced out with me really not even having to work that hard for it. So hopefully this helps you. If you need to get centered in your feminine energy, I strongly, strongly encourage you to start today and don't wait. It can be so simple. It can be just loving yourself more in this moment and every moment. Just a gentle reminder, a gentle nudge back into the divine feminine being that you are. So if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and turn on your notifications and give me a subscribe, and you can get more content like this. I am a musician, if you haven't noticed on my page, obviously Adrienne Rose Music, but also for those of you who don't know me, I have been a Reiki teacher for 20 years. I used to do all kinds of holistic workshops and just encouraging and empowering women and men to tune into their divine essence so you can activate your life to your highest potential. I mean, that's what we're all here to do, right? We're here to learn from each other and to grow and to expand as much as we can into the universe, which is limitless, and we are made of stardust. So you are a star and the world is yours. The universe is yours. I don't know if you guys can see behind me, but that little pink sign back there, no, I can't tune into it. Oh yeah, there we go. The world is yours, as my little neon suggests. So the world and the universe are boundless and expansive, and we are part of it. And I am grateful to know you and to have this conversation with you and share some energy and some love your way. So love and love and love to you guys. And I hope you found this helpful, and leave me some comments. Let me know what you would like to hear more of, and I will talk to you guys soon. Okay, cheers.